Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be reading the highest versus the lowest rated book on my physical TBR. So I have done this video a few times in the past where I've done highest versus lowest on my overall Goodreads TBR, highest versus lowest on my monthly TBR a couple times, but my goal this year has to be to read more of the books that I actually own. So in doing this video, I feel like it can help me narrow down the books that I own and have not read just yet. So I'm going to be picking the books right now. So I am going to be throwing up a screen recording of my Goodreads, and I did create a physical TBR shelf where I have put all of the books that I have not read that are on my bookshelves on Goodreads. That way I could have the ratings of each book in order for me to do this video. So as of right now, there are 103 books on this list, and we are going to go ahead and pick the books that we're going to be reading. I will be reading the lowest first and then reading the highest last. So we are going to go ahead and pick the average rating when looking in Goodreads. And so it looks like as of right now, it's showing the highest rated books, which my highest rated book on my physical TBR is Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. But since that is the fourth book in the series and I am on the third book, and the third book is the second highest, it looks like I will be reading Saving 6 for this video. So I have Saving 6 right here. I actually have two copies of this book, but this is the most recently newly published version, and so I will be reading this as the highest rated book on my TBR. So now let's see what I'll be reading for the lowest rated book on my TBR. Okay, so it looks like the lowest rated book on my physical TBR is Never by Jessa Hastings. So I have Never right here, and first of all, I just am obsessed with this cover. I think it's absolutely so pretty, but I really like Jessa Hastings books. I have read the first two books in the Magnolia Parks universe and really loved both of them. I gave Magnolia Parks 5 stars, and I want to say I gave Daisy Hates 4 or 4.5 stars, but I really enjoy Jessa's writing, and so I'm super excited to be picking this up. So these are the two books that I'm going to be reading in this video. I am not going to be starting them at this very exact moment, but I will be starting these soon. I will probably end up starting Never first and reading that. And yeah, so that is all for now, and I will update you once I start reading Never. Hello. Okay, so I have been sitting here. I've started Never by Jessa Hastings, and I'm on page 8, and I already am not liking this book, and I hate that because first of all, the cover is so pretty, and I really enjoyed the Magnolia Parks universe, and this just so far, Peter is ew so far, and I'm only 8 pages in, and I don't know about Daphne, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna give it 50 pages, or attempt to try and get 50 pages at least, and see if I like it, if I can make it 50 pages. We'll see, but I just have a feeling that I might not like this book, and it just might not be a book for me, and maybe that is the reason that it is the lowest rated on my TBR, because I was looking at what some of my friends on Goodreads have rated it, and I didn't see anything above a 2.5 star. It was all 1s and 2s, so that is not giving me any hope for this book so far. But I think I'm gonna finish chapter 1 and then go to bed because it's 9:38. Yeah, wild Friday night, me going to bed at 9:30. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this chapter, which another thing that I don't love about Jessa Hastings books is that some of her chapters are literally so long, and I hate long chapters. I'm very much a short chapter girl. So this first chapter is 20 pages, and I'm like, ugh, can we be done with it yet? But maybe that's just also the fact that I'm sleepy. But yeah, that's my update, and I'll probably update you guys again in the morning after I've had some sleep. Hello. Okay, so it's the next day and I did an update last night when I started Never by Jessa Hastings, and so I've been sitting here reading a little bit of this book, and when I say a little bit I mean like it's been 10 pages, and I just cannot, like, I'm gonna have to DNF this because I cannot deal with Daphne. Literally, how am I 30 pages in and I literally cannot stand her? Peter too, I'm just not liking him. Like, he just seems so childish, and like obviously I understand like the point of Peter Pan is like he is a kid who never wants to grow old, but in the sense of this story, he has grown up to be like 19 years old so that way he can get an edge on Hook to try and defeat him. But then we're also following Daphne, and she's like the 4th generation of darling girls that Peter has come and taken. He didn't come and take her until she was 17 and a few months shy of her 18th birthday. And so far Peter just is giving me the ick, and I feel like Daphne is just so dumb. Like, and like she keeps saying like, oh, like I'm the first in my class, like all I've ever wanted to be seen as is clever. Like, I feel like I am a very like clever individual, and like I have known not to believe this story because it just seems so far-fetched, and like these women in my family are just like not all there, like making her seem like she's just so put together, that she's like got it together, that she knows what's going on. And then she has lines where it's like, and I feel like this is the line that just like did it for me, was so she has fallen. I'm still like 30 pages in, but if you don't want to be spoiled for any of this, then like whatever. But I'll put like a timestamp if you qualify anything within the first 50 pages as spoilers. But essentially her and Peter have come to Neverland. She's falling out of the sky and she falls into the water on Neverland, and so Hook ends up picking her out of the water, but it's not actually Hook, it's like Hook's son. And so she is talking about how she's in her pajamas, and she says, his eyes fall down my body and I remember I'm in my little pajamas and I feel self-conscious, neither because of their wetness nor their shortness, but because he feels like the sort of person I might like to look my best in front of. I'm not sure why. Like, and not saying that like you can't want to look your best in front of somebody, but like you have known this man for 2 seconds. He has literally just pulled you up out of the water. You've already made a comment about how you like Peter even though you don't know why you like him or why you want him to like you so much, even though you've said that you've like never really cared. I'm looking for it, but you've essentially said that you have never cared before what a man thinks about you. But then again, also too, like you're only 17 years old, and I cannot deal. And then she's just talking about how big everyone is, how big and tall. It's like in Allie Hazelwood's books, but I mean, we know with Allie Hazelwood that that's what you're getting, but like this, she's just talking about how Peter's so big, how he's so tall. And then she meets Jameson, and she's like, and he's just so big and he's just so tall, and I'm like, okay. And honestly, I'm just annoyed. I don't know. I was trying to look and see if I could find like where she was talking about like how she just wants Peter to like her so much, and she like just doesn't know why she wants him to like her, even though he doesn't seem like he's very like smart. And like I just know that if I were to continue reading this book, it would be like hate reading, and I'm trying to get out of reading slump, so I will be DNFing this on page 30. Couldn't even make it to 50 pages in. Just no, this is not for me. I did also go and look at some reviews. Most of the people that I am friends with on Goodreads have all either given this 1, 2 or DNF'd this book. I think the highest rating that I've seen from somebody that I am aware of as far as like their reviews has been a 2.5 star. And I just cannot. And like I'm not someone who shies against a 2-star book. Like generally, like I give books 2 stars that are like not necessarily the greatest books all the time, but if I'm at least having a good time, then I feel like I could finish it. And with this, I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed. I'm not having a good time. Like, it's just, it would literally turn into a hate read, and that is not at all what I want to do. But I will be keeping this book just because I am literally obsessed with the cover, and who knows, maybe in the future I might try to pick it up again, but like right now it's a no. It's a no for me, which means that I can definitely understand why this is the lowest rated book on my physical TBR, because from what I have gathered, it's absolutely terrible. But that means that now I will be moving on to the highest rated book, which will hopefully do way better for me than this, and that of course is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. And I just already know that this book is going to break my heart, especially if it's like coincided with some of the events of Finding 13. But yeah, I am definitely going to be picking this one up now, and hopefully this book will save this video, because right now I'm literally just like, this book just like pissed me off. Like, I just feel like it just pissed me off for no reason. And so now we're moving on. We're respectfully, Jessa, love you in the Magnolia Parks universe, but this one was just a no. So now we're moving back into better territory, and we're going with Saving Six. So I think I'm gonna start this today. I'm actually thinking I might go take a nap and then start this, and I will update you guys again a little bit later. Hello. Okay, so I cannot remember the last time that I updated this vlog, but I did want to come on and mention that I did finish Saving Six by Chloe Walsh, which was the highest rated book on my physical TBR, and I ended up giving this book 4 stars. This book follows Joey and Aoife, and Joey is Shannon's older brother from Binding and Keeping 13, and it just follows his journey with him and Aoife, how they met, how their relationship started out as a friendship and how it progressed into more, how Joey suffers with addiction and following him through his addiction, and how things ended up getting so bad, and how he eventually is hoping to overcome his addiction. And this was honestly, the story is so good. Like, the writing isn't my favorite, but the story itself is just so good, and the found family in this series is just absolutely amazing. If you love the found family trope, then I would definitely recommend this book. But I definitely would check trigger warnings, because these books are so heavy, and this is the 3rd book in the series. But I don't feel like you necessarily have to read Binding and Keeping 13 first. Like, obviously it helps because that's the series order, but this does technically take place before Binding 13, because it takes place before and up until Shannon goes to Tommen, which was definitely interesting because there wasn't really a whole lot of overlap. There was a little tiny bit of overlap, but you do kind of get to see a little bit more of what Shannon went through before she ends up going to Tommen, and kind of how Joey was having her back during the time that she was at the school that she was at before Tommen. So that was definitely interesting to see and read about. But I definitely will be moving the next book up on my TBR because I am so excited to just continue the series and cannot wait to read the next one. But yeah, so just wanted to go ahead and close off this video. So I started with Never by Jessa Hastings, which I ended up DNFing because I absolutely could not stand the main character Daphne. And yeah, I feel like that just was not a very good start to this video, but ended up saving it with Saving Six and really enjoyed my time reading that. It did take me a little bit longer to read it just because these books are so like sad and like depressing, and I feel like you have to be in the right headspace to pick up these books, and I feel like that kind of was stopping me a little bit from picking it up, and that's why it did take me a little bit longer to finish it. But now that I've read it, I'm so happy that I did, and hopefully the next time I do this video it'll be a little bit better and I won't have a DNF. But yeah, with that being said, that's all for today's video. If you guys liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I will have all my social media linked in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.